Greg, I think you brought up a great point. I think there's a lot of issues that people are dealing with today that I like to say are normalized or almost hidden because, so many people are dealing with them. It's become normal, like having these huge blood sugar swings, having these huge changes in digestion, things like that. What do you think are the most common issues you see women dealing with? And we talk about men as well, but in particular where it's like things that they shouldn't be dealing with, but like they've been told, it's just part of your cycle or, part of being a woman, those kind of things that are fixable at least.
We could talk about that for an hour. To be honest, the list is pretty long, but you pretty much touched on it. I think certainly for females, like, getting cramping and a lot of those, negative symptoms around their cycle is considered normal, certainly by the mainstream media. Like, yeah, everyone gets that. And a lot of doctors will just go, look, well, let's just put you on the pill and that'll kind of help, bring down some of those symptoms and you'll be fine. But we also know that, contraceptives also create longer term problems as well. And, certainly on the other end with the menopause is a huge one. I mean, there's such a huge market for, women, they're like, oh, the hot flushes and all this sort of stuff. This is all normal. Everyone goes through it. And I'm like, none of any of this is fucking normal. And it should never be tolerated as normal. Like, it is purely a reflection of how you are living fundamentally. Right. And this is why, I've seen you like post, things on Instagram, talking about, mainstream health and nutrition is a little bit wayward and, I won't crap on too much about it, but, we've kind of all got that belief that in a lot of those areas, people really get let down. And when a lot of women come into our program, a lot of our role is to try and change that perception of them of that's not normal. This is what normal is. And our goal, our objective is to get you to that point. Now that might require X amount of time. And for a lot of people, that's going to require a lot of fundamental changes, just how they live day to day. But the reality is people are just getting so dosed up now by doctors because this is quote unquote normal. And the reality is, if you just understand what's causing, and a majority of it is just like estrogen dominance, right? And if we understand what causes these estrogen issues and we change our diet and we change potentially some of our environment and some of the other stresses, a lot of these things just get fixed as just part of just living better. And I just don't think medication is ever the course. I don't think you ever need to do that. Sometimes going through this process, things could potentially get a little bit worse before they get better. But to say that you're living in pain or these symptoms that you get chronically is normal is just fucking outrageous. Sorry for swearing, but that's the biggest thing we need to come over, absolutely.
It's almost like these symptoms are normal. So we're going to, like the way you said it, we kind of just put it in perspective. It's like these symptoms are normal. So we're going to give you this drug to correct these normal symptoms. Instead of something is wrong, let's correct it. It's like, so, Kitty, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think that it's looking at the root cause, rather than just treating the symptoms. So take the pill, which just stops you from ovulating. So therefore you don't get any symptoms because you're not having a cycle anymore. And I think, prior to finding Emma and learning about my cycle and the benefits of ovulation and making progesterone, I have to take some ownership for that too. Like I just went to the doctor and didn't do any of my own research and just accepted what they said to be truth. And, and then obviously meeting Emma and learning more about like my cycle, I was like, okay, it's good to ovulate,
Yeah.
I don't have to suffer with these heavy and painful periods. And, I think like we all want a quick fix, right? Like it's just better if it's quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Craig talked about, and I always say to women in our program, like, you're going to do our program and then at the end you're going to be like, wow, this isn't actually that hard. Why did I spend so many years jumping from quick fix diet to quick fix diet? But it does take consistency in time and changing behavior, which is difficult, because like so many women have, we binge eat, we undereat, for so many reasons. So, it's sometimes a hard pill to swallow going, okay, well, I just have to track my food and get enough protein and balance my blood sugar and, get some more sleep and get some steps in and do some strength training. And it's slow.
Yeah.
It's a slow process, but yeah, like Craig said, I think like don't feel bad if you've got these symptoms. Don't think, oh my God, like it's so bad and I can't fix it. It is very common, but you can absolutely improve them with diet and lifestyle changes.
My hottest take is I think I've tweeted about this a couple times. I don't think women should be cold. Obviously, we all get cold at some points, but it's just like a very accepted thing that like women. And I think it's you guys probably agree to a degree. It's very related to the hypothyroidism and not producing your lower metabolism means producing less body heat. So you're constantly shivering, you're constantly cold, and I think a large part of that is the mental aspect of women. I guess almost being like shamed into eating less, like they're constantly trying to eat less and then maybe the binge purge cycle. Like those.
Well, I think it's like women just want, like, because I know, because I was there. Like I was always, I want to be skinny. I want to be thin.